pay extremely close attention.
The rules are changing, and if you don't know this information, you're more likely to be on the losing side than the winning side.
I'm really excited about this. Dean Gracios, Michael Say, Katrina Ruth, Ryan Dice, the one and only Russell Brunson, Sonia Riccati, we have Holly here, Todd Brown, Roland Frazier, Michael Jeff Walker, Neil Patel, Dennis Hughes.
I think that there's a high risk of mass extinction of the internet business.
Millions of businesses, big and small, closed, pushing us into the worst global recession in history.
The writing is on the wall because things are changing, things are happening.
Change in the industry that's forcing people to evolve and adapt and basically not.
You need to see this to understand it. Something like that will happen. You can write it in blood.
If there was a tactic or strategy that you were most excited about, what would it be?
We can go as deep as you want.
I call this content sprouting.
These strategies work for any social media platform.
If you believe it's a good idea, you should stick with it.
When your business becomes part of someone's identity, that's when they stick. This is really crazy. I don't know if I ever shared this with you. Waste the least amount of money to find that winner. That's how you win for $1 a day.
Now, I have people that are on my list for 2 years that are still opening emails.
To get this many amazing people in a room, it's just amazing. We're about to take you behind the scenes. I thought you were doing here. This is amazing. If you want to know what's happening in the future, tune in now.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Hopefully you hear me. Let me know whether you're hearing me. And my name is Rich Schefren. We do these live streams every Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesdays from 2 to 4 p.m. Sorry that we're 10 minutes late today. Had some thumbnail issues. And Thursdays from 6 to 8 p.m. And we do these, or I do these with my company, Strategic Profits, primarily to help you. If you're online and trying to grow an online business, if you market online, if at the end of the day you have anything to do with business, marketing, and online, then my goal in being here is to help you and to help you grow your business. And so to answer any questions that you have and to share different topics that I feel are important for any entrepreneur, any marketer to know about as it relates to growing their business or improving their marketing online. So, as I said, I hope. My name is Rich Schefren. The name of my company is Strategic Profits. The product that I am most proud of at the moment that we have is Steal Our Winners. And let's see. Yeah, cool. You hear me loud and clear. Awesome. So let me know where you're watching from. Say hello. We try to make these as much of a dialogue as opposed to a monologue. So if you're watching on YouTube, thumbs up and subscribe and comment if you can. Really appreciate it. It helps YouTube know that this video is worth sharing. If you're watching on Facebook, please also comment, emote, and share. That's how Facebook determines whether this is worthy of letting some of my fans and some of the people that follow me know about this video. If you're watching on LinkedIn, I don't know what you can do because we just started broadcasting on LinkedIn. And actually, let's see if there's anyone watching on LinkedIn. It's still, I guess there's a delay with LinkedIn. Like last time that we did this, it didn't show up on LinkedIn for about, I don't know, some period of time. And it has to be scheduled much sooner in LinkedIn, actually, which is kind of strange. So I don't know what you can do there. And if you're watching on Periscope also, I'm not sure what you can do because we have someone watching on Periscope right now. We've got about 8 of you watching on YouTube. We've got 37 watching on my fan page, 7 in the Strategic Profits group on Facebook, 1 on my personal page. And that's who we got. We got 54 people right now watching, which is pretty cool. I'll take it. Heading out to California tomorrow. So it's been a little bit crazy here trying to get as much as humanly possible done before I take off. In general, whenever I go somewhere, I try to have the least number of things on my calendar so that, especially if I'm going to be around other entrepreneurs and marketers, which I am on this trip, I want to make sure that my calendar is open so that I don't have to have any pre-built in excuses for not spending time with people, because as an introvert, I don't need any excuses. And I know that it's important for my own knowledge, my own happiness, and the growth of my business to spend time with other people. And so try to remove everything on my calendar so that I am kind of literally forced to and don't have any excuses to stay in my hotel room all by myself. But I am prone to do that. So yeah, heading out to California, heading out to San Diego to a mastermind called Flight Club by Glenn Ledwell. And I'll be presenting there some of the best strategies that have been shared over the last year from Steal Our Winners. And today we're going to talk a little bit about Steal Our Winners as we talk about really how to build a flagship product to get and then keep your best customers, right? And that's the goal, right? Some kind of acquisition tool, some kind of product that you can put out there that ultimately not only you can use to attract customers, right? So you can acquire them, but then also keep them. And, you need both. So one of the things that I wanted to kind of accomplish today, and then we'll check in with you guys and say hello to everyone who has said hello and let me know where they're from. And also, by all means, put pound shared if you shared it, no matter whether you're watching this on YouTube or whether you're watching this on LinkedIn or whether you're watching this on Periscope or whether you're watching this on Facebook or wherever else, right? So yeah, put pound shared so that I can thank you personally. And I'm trying to think of what else. Oh yeah, so let me tell you what I want to accomplish today, because we hit a lot of these live streams. I will record a video for YouTube, and we're getting closer and closer to finally getting a video editor, so I won't necessarily have to do that. We'll actually be able to create better videos once we have an editor in place, which was the whole purpose behind, at least one of the purposes behind doing these live streams, because you figure if I'm talking for 4 hours a week, then we should be able to grab some really good content from there, especially when we take out all the ums and likes, et cetera, that I do. So what I wanted to do today, though, not record any YouTube videos, because if you remember, either last Thursday or whenever it was, I recorded 3 YouTube videos back to back to back on biohacking, scaling, and business and life lessons. We released the business and life lessons, and let's just take a look real quick here, see what it looks like if I go into a incognito window and I go to YouTube. I'm just checking to see real quick where we stand with, is it business and life lessons or life and business lessons? Let's see, business and life lessons. I don't know that. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, yep, business and life lessons. I'm number 1. Not that there's necessarily tremendous traffic from that, but let's see where I stand with business lessons. Yeah, not anywhere close, because we're still on the top page, which ain't so bad. So anyway, normally I record those videos, but don't need to do them because we hit 3 of them last week. So what other videos do I want to make today while talking to you? What I want to do is I want to record either 1, 2, probably 1 or 2 videos that act as the intro videos to Steal Our Winners. And we call that a gauntlet. And it's basically those initial messages that are very critical to really framing the product right? So, well, you know what? We'll get into that. We'll get into the framing part. I'll even talk about the idea of really framing anything. The Internet Business Manifesto is a great example of thinking through the frame before, you know, even on a marketing piece, let alone framing on a product, which is even more important. So we'll get to all that. And I'm excited because you're going to get a chance to, I'm going to get a chance here to talk to you about really, at the end of the day, perceived value. And a lot of times, objective value and perceived value can be vastly different. And so our goal as business owners, as marketers, is to recognize, one, that perceived value trumps objective value in the eyes of our customers, right? And therefore, we have to be really clear, not only from our own standpoint, right, that we want to deliver products of value, but that just delivering products of value more often than not is not enough to ensure that your customers are perceiving that value. And so I want to get into that. I want to talk to you about that and a bunch of other things. So I'm just excited to be here. On Thursday, actually, Matt Rizvi, my partner in crime, so to speak, he'll be here because I'll be out in California. So I will not be on Thursday's live stream. But then the following week, I plan on actually broadcasting to you from California. Maybe not on the Tuesday. We might play an old video, not an old video, but like an old presentation that I've given that most people haven't seen. And then Thursday, do live from LA or something like that, which would be damn cool. Got a haircut since I'm going to California. And in addition to that, just trying to think of other things to update you guys on. Got my blood test back recently. I just took a ridiculous amount of blood tests, about $7,000 to $8,000 worth of blood tests. Thank God for insurance, where it only costs $200. But got my blood test back, and supposedly, like, I have the body of a 25-year-old. Everything is perfect. I was actually debating scaling back on some of the supplements I take, but when I got my blood tests and they said, holy crap, every number is phenomenal, I guess I'm staying on all of the supplements that I'm on. And I am going to play around with ipamorelin and semamorelin. They're two precursors to growth hormone. And I don't want to take growth hormone directly because of I don't want to shut down my own growth hormone production. These two potentially help your body produce more IGF-1. And IGF-1, there's a balance between the right amount for health versus the lower your IGF-1, that's correlated with longer life. However, feeling young and feeling good corresponds oftentimes with a higher IGF. So it's a balancing act, and I'm not an expert on it. We'll eventually invite someone on here to discuss it who knows a lot more than I do. So with that said, let's check in and see who's here, and let's say hello. And like I said, I apologize to you guys for starting this live stream a little late. We got Jason in Tampa. You're welcome for doing these live streams. Thank you for attending them, Jason. I know that you've been on quite many of them, and I appreciate that. Appreciate you for being here. Thank you, Renan. Good to see you, my friend. And thank you, Renan, for all the wonderful things that you post. Appreciate you. And at some point soon, I'm going to get down to Brazil. And when I do, I'd love to get together with you. And Anibal, I'd love to get together with you. And I know I should reach out to you. And so I probably will tonight when I'm working late. Thank you, Paul, for letting me know that it's working. Happy spring, Rich. Loud and clear. Is today the first day of spring? Is that when is officially the first day of spring? If someone can tell me that, that'd be cool. Hey, Jason, good to see you. Jason Pringle. Let me know where you're at. Jason, I don't know where you're at. Hello, Evilio. Good to see you. Hello, Louis. Good to see you in Mexico. And not sure what that name is, but I'd say Vlad, probably Vlad. Well, hey, right back at you. Thanks, Renan, for sharing. You rock, and you shared it on YouTube. Awesome. Thank you so much. And watching from Bermuda. Very cool, Darren. Nice to see you. And Darren, good to see you in Munich, watching on Facebook. And Miami. Very cool. I heard it's crazy down there right now with all these spring breakers. Like running out on tabs and stuff like that, as well as just totally crowding everywhere with no masks. Good to see you, Gordon, in Louisville, Kentucky. And hi, mate. Nice to see you again. You're in Tahiti. It's been a long time since Venice. I don't know who this is, if this is Simon or someone else, but whoever is in Tahiti, if you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, it will then, if you authorize StreamYard to say who you are, then I will know. Hey, Brian from Houston, good to see you. And Brandon, good to see you. And is that Loan? 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 And how do I pronounce it? Loan from Romania, good to see you. And Christine in beautiful Vermont. Nice to see you, Christine. In Maryland, Uptown Big Pool. Steve Lanning, good to see you. And Lisa in Miami Beach. And Ned, good to see you. And Christy, Steal Our Winners is fantastic value, plus all the bonus content, reports, and vids. And lifetime membership is jam-packed with value. Thank you for saying that, Christy. And Paul in Warren, Ohio. I know Warren, Ohio. Haven't gone to Case Western. Periscope, still hanging in there. Yeah, I don't know, right? Like, I don't know. Right now, we have 0 people on Periscope, but we do have 53 people on my personal page, 11 people in the group, 53 on my fan page, 11 in the group, 4 on my personal page, and 9 people on YouTube for a grand total of 76 people. Damn, Rich, I forgot. I have a conference call right now. Hope to join later. Hope that you do, Nina. Good to see you. Chanel from Detroit. Nice to see you, Chanel. And Fight Club, LOL. They call it Flight, FLIGHT, like getting ready to scale up, right? Flight Club. Hello from Norway. Well, right back at you, Ken. And hey to the Facebook user in the UK. And Ozma from Egypt. Good to see you, Ozma. And Michael. Hello, Michael. Watching on LinkedIn. There you go. Awesome. And we can even see that because it says LinkedIn. So apparently there's less of a delay this time than there was last time. Maybe they'll eventually get to no delay. Let's see now, does it show LinkedIn? That's interesting because it still doesn't show LinkedIn actually in the live viewers. I wonder if there's something there, but at least we're broadcasting there and you can comment. So that's kind of cool. Hello, Brian in Port St. Lucie, and Pat in DeLand, Florida, watching on Facebook. And you shared it. Thanks, Pat. Appreciate you. And John Sinclair, thank you for sharing as well. And Michael shared. Thank you. Wow. And Ned shared. Wow. This is a good live stream so far. I'm not seeing a share button, Rich. That's weird. Maybe someone can give Jim some advice. Hi, everyone dialed from Connecticut, but all things being equal, I'd rather be in Tahiti like Simon. Oh, is Simon in Tahiti? Very nice, Simon. Very nice. Shared. Thank you, Ken. Duran, shared. Thank you. Jason from Austin, Texas. Cool, Jason. Shared. And Loan shared. Cool. Am I pronouncing your name right? Is it Loan or is it Iowan? Is it Iowan? I'm confused. Let me know. Just subscribe to your YouTube channel. Awesome, Brian. I appreciate that. Giancarlo. Okay. Giancarlo always, you got to be careful with Giancarlo because sometimes he skews sexual. So let's see what Giancarlo has to say. Hi, Rich. I am in a list of a big time marketer, which, by the way, as you mentioned the other day, he is or was #1 affiliate for your product, but how he can really do it if he almost never sells. I'm on his list for a month now, but he never even puts a link to a blog or a sales video. He just talks about stories and things happening to him, or he just gives some marketing tips. Please, you go through this. And why isn't he selling every day after he provides? All right, just looking to see if you went further. No, I don't see it. Where now is this? Hold on. There we go. All right. Well, I don't know, Giancarlo. First of all, though, you got to understand that so there's a couple different possibilities, let's say. The first possibility is that because you're on his list and you have not bought anything from him yet, I don't know if that's the case or not, but if you haven't, then he might have you in a sequence or in a campaign that is really all about bonding, knowing, liking, and trusting, right? And that he's not going to put any affiliate offers until he's taken numerous attempts at selling you his stuff. But because his stuff is more high end, right, he might have a longer process to take you through to get you to know, like, and trust him first. So that could be the first thing. He could also have his list segmented so the people that he promoted Steal Our Winners to might be not the same list that you're on, right? It might have been people who have already bought from him, or it could be people who he doesn't think are going to buy from him. I'm unsure, right? So it could be that. I think you're too focused on, at least right now, the frequency of trying to sell. There are certain people that attempt to sell every day, but they do it in a good way, like a Ben Settle, right? Or when Ben Settle's probably one of the best examples of that, where he's sending emails every day, but those emails are designed to get you to buy his newsletter. So that would be an example of it. As long as the person who's receiving the emails likes what they're receiving, are likely to open, that's the most important thing. And so whether it's a sales message or not means less than what else is in the email. Hope that helps. Nice haircut. Thanks. The hair is really growing back. I'm kind of shocked at how much it's growing back. More on, everything's reversed here. More on this side, as you can tell, than that side. But hopefully they balance out. But, it was back to here at one point. It was, and now it's starting to, I don't know how much it's going to go all the way back down. I've really, this is a better hairline than I've had since probably my early 30s, and I'm 50. So we're going in the right direction. We were going in the wrong direction. Now we're going in the right direction. Thanks, Valerie. Thank you very much. And hello to you, Valerie. What's up, Rich? Nothing much, Francisco. What's up with you? Keith Harris, this is great. Cool. Joe Nicasio, business mentor. Hello, Rockstar. Hello to you. And this is another LinkedIn. So this is awesome. We're actually getting people who are on LinkedIn. And so even though I'm seeing that there are 77 viewers, those are 77 viewers just through Facebook and YouTube. Who knows how many people we have watching on LinkedIn? Probably just a few. But over time, I think we'll grow there. Hello, Facebook user, whoever you are. And Joanne, nice to see you in the UK, and very interested in the supplements. Okay, well, those supplements I'm going to have to inject, and that's ipamorelin and semamorelin. IPAMORELIN. March 21st. What's March 21st? Is that your birthday? Mine was the 13th. March 20th. Or maybe you guys are talking about something else. Hello, Rich. Way to see a beautiful soul. Well, thank you, Michael. And I'm just happy that like people can see this on LinkedIn. Hey, Ron in Champaign, Illinois. And last Saturday was the, that's when, okay, yeah. Last Saturday was the equinox. Yes. And actually, I was talking to my daughter who goes to Syracuse University, and she was saying like the weather up there is in the 60s, which is pretty awesome. Las Vegas, Nevada. Very cool, Joe. Clearwater, Florida. Hello, Rod. Lewis, welcome, Rich. Awesome stuff, and look forward to implementing them for our internal group and clients of Scale 360 Technologies and my USC cohorts here in LA. Love to hear more about the supplement regime later. Yeah. I've also done a few, and I've done a few live streams where I've talked about it. And I did one with Ryan Ballo a while back. You can probably, I'm sure you can find it on Facebook, and you can probably also find it on YouTube. And Ryan is one of the guys that I go to for everything nootropics. So he's my source, so to speak, for info when I want someone who knows a lot more than me answering my questions. Hello, Michael in Chicago, watching on LinkedIn. That's so awesome. I'm just like, thank you, StreamYard, for making it so damn easy to broadcast everywhere. Simon, when are we going to do another seminar? Would love to come over to Europe. If you're interested in natural HGH production, check out HIT plus L-arginine. Yeah, I know about high-intensity interval training and L-arginine and L-glutamine. Familiar with both. I don't know if you can talk about that, but you know what's happening with Stripe ClickFunnels integration in Europe is not working. And time ago, you talk about Groove. Huh. Is it, Roberto, is it both Groove and ClickFunnels, or is it just ClickFunnels right now that's having a problem with Stripe? Be interested to know, and I didn't know anything about it, Roberto, so please share. Pat, I'm so grateful for your perspective on business. I learn so much every time I am on with you live or watching your videos on YouTube, totally changing my business. Well, that's so nice of you to say, Pat, so thank you. And thank you for sharing it on Facebook and YouTube. I wish I knew who that was so I could say thank you personally, unless that's Simon, and then I thank you, Simon. I had to copy a link to share. Cool. Iowan. Okay, and is that, am I pronouncing it right? Iowan? Is it Iowan? Is that how you pronounce it? Hey, Emmy. Everyone watching the live, Emmy from Germany. Cool. Anna Marie. Hello, Rich. DLR Winners is really great. At first, I thought it was only for advanced people, but ever since you started posting content for beginners, I've been loving it. Anyone who isn't in yet should jump in. Thanks for saying that, Anna Marie. And logged into LinkedIn to check the stream out here. Cool. And thank you for seeing whether you could find it, Duran. 4 users online. Very cool. Very cool. Iowan. You pronounce it Eowyn. Oh, okay. Eowyn. Got it. I am brand new to his list. Oh, okay. So that, give it some time, Giancarlo, and see where he takes you. Keeps for hair growth. Yeah, well, that, what Keeps won't tell you, well, not that they're hiding it from you, but I first heard about this from a guy who I also enjoy watching on YouTube quite a bit these days. Been watching him for about a year. His name is Derek, and the name of his channel is More Plates, More Dates. I first came across him because he was doing a video on Wes Watson, and Wes is a friend of mine. And I saw Wes Watson, natty or not. And I'm like, I don't even know what that means. So let me watch this. Natty is a slang term for guys in the fitness world, I guess, for natural versus steroids. So this was Derek's take on Wes, which, whatever, we don't need to go there. But I really dug Derek's style. And since I liked his style, I started watching his videos. And over the last year, I've watched him really grow his channel quite a bit. He sits in what appears to be like you would think his parents' basement, because it's like wood paneling like behind him with an intercom system like from the 70s. I remember those type of intercom systems. And he's got, it's really funny. All right. So, because he's got, well, he's wicked smart, knows seems to know a shit ton about everything as it relates to the hormones of the body. Like, he doesn't really get into the nootropic side, but more the physical side. And he's got these deltoids. I think it's what's called delts, right? Like, that are like grapefruits. They're absolutely huge. So years ago, I went to this transformation workshop, right? Where it's a week long, and it was out in California in wine country. It's called the Hoffman process. And it's somewhat anonymous from the standpoint that you're not allowed to tell anyone your real name. And the whole week you walk around with a name tag of what your nickname was as a child. And that's the only name that you're allowed to share. And there's probably like, I don't know, there was maybe 60 to 80 people there, and they break you up into groups of like 6 or 8 people. I don't really remember the size of the group. And you're in this smaller group every day for numerous hours each day. And one of the things that they have you do on day one is record your first impressions of each person, like what you think they might be like based on what you see, right? And then on the very last day, you share that. And on the very last day, I think, like, let's say there were 8 people in my group in total. 3 of the other 7 shared their first impression of me was dumb jock. And I couldn't kind of, I was kind of surprised by that, you know, anyone who knows me would never kind of think of me that way. 1 as a jock and 2 as dumb. But that's how I came across. And it was kind of surprising to me. But then when I watched Derek from More Plates, More Dates, I totally get it, because you're totally not expecting this guy to be a whiz at science, especially with shoulders that I wish I, like, if I put a tennis ball here, it would, and here, it would be more like the way he looks. He's huge. But anyway, so I was talking about Derek because of Wes, and yeah, anyway, geez, I've totally lost that train of thought. So there it is, where it says keeps. On Derek's from More Plates and More Dates has a whole series of videos about hair. And he's grown back a lot of his hair. And one of the things that he recommended, and that was really the first place I saw it, was to use microneedling in addition to minoxidil, not at the same time. And that makes a really difference. And I would say it has. I'd say it's like, I've heard it can increase the performance of minoxidil anywhere from 200 to 300%. I don't know how you kind of gauge that, but I can certainly say that when I was just using minoxidil, I wasn't regrowing hair in places where it was dead. And now I am with microneedling. Now, that might be unique to me. That might be how it is with everyone who uses microneedling. I don't know, but I got it from Derek from More Plates, More Dates, and it's working. So I'm really excited about that, and I want to thank Derek personally if I ever get the chance, but if not, at least I can thank him publicly. Yeah, so it's just minoxidil, red light, and microneedling on LinkedIn. Cool. Hey, Ethan, good to see you on LinkedIn. Very cool. I need a list of your nutrition supplement cocktail. If you have a blog article, you can point me to that. That would be great. No, I should create a long blog post about it and also post my blood test, because apparently they're very good. But I would do that. I think that would be fun. Don't say nothing much. Say everything is up. Have you done any hair treatment? Well, other than minoxidil, red light, and microneedling, no. Like, I haven't gotten any hair pieces or transplants or anything. And I never really thought about it. I mean, I've been bald, and I don't mind being bald. But now that I'm regrowing it, it's become very exciting to me. So I'm trying to, like, I want to regrow it as much as possible. And I would get a hair transplant, like right there, if I can't grow it anymore. Now that I've seen how excited I get by just a micro amount of actual growth, I could see it. March 21st. Got it. Hi, Rich and the gang. Is Mike Filsain with me today? No, Mike isn't with me today. But he will be in California, and I will be with him in California. I want to know your opinion, Rich. If someone wants to connect with me in my blog as blog author, is this good or not? What mean that in general? If someone, are you saying, Anna Asma, if someone wants to be a guest contributor for your blog? If that's the question, if they write good stuff, then yes. The benefit for them is that they get exposure to your audience. If they're writing something good, then your audience benefits as well, right? And it's very similar, you could say, to what I do in Steal Our Winners, right? I'm introducing our subscribers to people all the time. Different purposes, but same effect, really, right? Love StreamYard. I'm becoming a big fan of StreamYard myself. And I really like that photo of you, Valerie. It's very flattering. EON, I'm a member of Steal Our Winners and would love to promote it. How can I apply? Well, we sent out an email about if you want to be an affiliate. And I know we got inundated by people who do want to be an affiliate. So EON, if you didn't reply to that email, then I would say go to customer support. But if you have, then just wait, because going to customer support won't speed it up. It will just also make sure that it comes in if you didn't reply. Rich, what is the best time to send emails and what days are the best? It really depends on your audience, Giancarlo. Very different depending on the niche and where people are located. So it's just a ClickFunnels problem. How long has it been going on, Roberto? Sorry, one day off on first is March 20th. Hi, is this available later to watch? Yes, it will. It should be. It should be available on Facebook. Should be available on YouTube. And I don't know what LinkedIn does. I would imagine LinkedIn stores them somewhere. Do you know about glutathione? Yes, it's a strong antioxidant with amazing health effects. Yes, I'm familiar with glutathione. Yes, cool. I came here to find out how to build a flagship product. I don't understand why you are talking about hair loss. I will be talking about creating a flagship product. We're just kind of getting warmed up, Dave. So I apologize. But, this is I do these twice a week. So this is more of like a show. And I don't just turn it on and just drop content and leave. It's more teaching different things, but also sharing different things from my life. But I get it, Dave, and it could be frustrating if that's exactly the only thing that you wanted, but I promise you we will get to it. Yep, it does. I've never done that. Okay, good to know, Ian. Wendy, it absolutely makes a difference. I am launching stem cell skin renewal system and microchannels from needling or a special NAN pen makes the product go deeper without downtime. Yeah, I use a micro needling tool. Like does it come back dark or gray? The hair, that is. I'm not bald, but going gray now. I don't know. I'm going gray myself too. Mahalo. Hey, I am Wes Watson. Hey, I am Wes Watson. How are you, buddy? Oh, well, good, Wes. If you're using an alias, good to see you. And I will be seeing you in a few days. I don't know if he writes things or not. He just asked to be a blog author for me. I'm writing book summary every week, have one book new. Yeah, I guess he wants to be well, why else would he want? Yeah, if he wants to be a blog author, I would. It's always great if someone else is going to create content for you. Dave is ready to go. Yeah, he is. All right. Hair loss flagship products are hand-in-hand keeps. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about this. All right. So first I said I was going to talk about framing. So let's just kind of start there. Then I'm going to kind of twist back, right? And then get more into the product side. So when I wrote the manifesto, right, let's first just kind of talk about this from a standpoint of understanding framing, right? That whenever you come across anything, you make sense of it based on its context, right? And if you know more about it, then you might kind of make sense of it by context and backstory. Okay. So imagine for a second that you created some kind of lead magnet and you were to put that lead magnet in a doctor's office. It was just sitting in the waiting room of a doctor's office. And one of your prospects comes into that doctor's office. Okay. So you created a lead magnet. Let's say it's a report, and now it's sitting in the doctor's office. What story would need to be said about your lead magnet, right? What is it that would get most of your prospects, if not all of your prospects, to one, pick it up, two, try and steal it if they didn't have time to read it in the doctor's office? Okay. So that's the test, right? That, for me, when I was thinking about writing a free report, that's the test. What's the story behind this free report that is going to make people want to read it? And that's why the story of the Internet Business Manifesto is, there's a coach. He's coached most of the big people that you know. He's been behind the scenes. He's now coming in front of the scenes, but to do only one last coaching group, which is going to be expensive and most people will not be able to afford. So he's written a report of what he sees as the biggest mistakes people are making online and what they need to do to fix it, recognizing that most people will never have a chance to be coached by him. So if you get that, right, then that report all of a sudden is worth a lot more than just a free report, right? So that's the frame. That's the frame around the Internet Business Manifesto. Now, with Steal Our Winners, let's now backtrack a little bit, right? So I think I've shared this numerous times during these live streams, but I think this creates more context for you, and it's also a good review and explanation as to a bunch of things. So I've worked with Agora Publishing for about 15 years, actually a little bit longer than that now, maybe 16 or 17 years. And when I first started working with them, $100 to $200 million business, now almost a $2 billion business. And it's one of the most successful, if not the most successful, direct response info publishers. Okay. And so in addition to being a consultant for them, I've also sold my business to them a couple of years ago and then bought it back. But while my business was in Agora, I wanted to do things the way Agora does things. So Agora is this $2 billion info publisher that sells through direct response. And their front-end products, by almost all of them, not all of them, but almost all of them, are newsletters. So they sell newsletters. Those newsletters are $49 a year. And over that course of the year, they are going to try and sell that customer more things, back-end products, right? So in direct response, we call a front-end product a product designed to acquire a customer, and a back-end product is designed to increase the value of that customer, okay? So on the front end, almost all of Agora's products are newsletters. Now, and the reason they're newsletters is for two reasons. One, it lasts for a year, right? Someone's paying $49 to have a year-long subscription, which means that now Agora has the opportunity to market to that person for a whole year. And they will market to that person every single day, right? Sending content and also marketing. So a year, right, to get the new client, new customer to know, like, and trust the guru, to then want to spend more money to have a more intimate relationship, get better, more timely advice from that guru so that they can make money in the stock market or in health, right? And that's the back end, and that's how we create a lifetime value that is significantly higher than the cost per acquisition. And the cost per acquisition is the cost that it takes to acquire a customer, and that's based on the front end. Now, another reason why newsletters are so good for a front end, besides being something that can help bridge a bonding relationship, is the way newsletters are sold, or anything that is continuity based. And that is because there's a continuity element to it. And because nobody can predict the future with certainty. Excuse me. The way most newsletters and ongoing continuity programs are sold is with a premium, something that serves immediate gratification, right? Something that people can get right now. And at Agora, the way we do it is, and this is important, is the premium can be based on anything that is hot in the market with our prospects right now. So for Agora, right, which is primarily investment in health, like, we can create a premium about certain things in China that are about to explode, or certain, anywhere at any time, right? And so this gives tremendous flexibility, which allows for, or enables, Agora to have 10 different copywriters all working on front-end promotions, new customer acquisition promotions, right? All for the same newsletter, that all will be very, very different promotions, because the copywriter is going to pick the premium based on what they believe would be the hot, sexy thing for the moment. And so many times, not always, but once again, most of the time, a promo for any of these newsletters will focus on the premium for like the first half, and all about this wonderful premium, that you're going to get free when you subscribe to, and then the second half is about the newsletter tied back into the premium. So let me know if that makes sense. It should make sense. And we're going to build off of that. So it's important that that makes sense. And while I hear back about whether that makes sense or not, I'll check in with you guys, and then we'll go further. And I hope, Dave, that we're getting to some stuff now that makes you happy. Checked out More Plates, More Dates YouTube channel, and looks really good. Looks like really good content. It is really good content. And the other thing interesting, Jason, is that I was watching one of his videos the other day, and he was talking about how he's been experimenting a lot about really trying to find the right mix of science and entertainment, because he found that when he just talks about science, shockingly, he doesn't get a lot of views. When it's all entertainment, that's not what his channel is about. He's not just building an entertainment channel. So how do you inject the right amount of entertainment and science? And so where he's been going is commenting on a lot of other people's videos, which makes it easy, I guess, to create content, right? Because there's an interaction. And if those videos are entertaining or crazy or hyperbolic, it also gives more flavor to his channel. So it's a smart move, but he's also got great information and wicked smart guy. Would love to meet him at some point. What age were you when you made your first million? Early 20s. I was in my early 20s. And is it Dan, or is this Wes just under a different name? And I'll find out later. Or actually, I could just text him right now. Just see, like, if that's the case. All right, let's see. If it's you, if Dan, if you really are Wes, just shoot me a text and let me know. Cool. Grabbing headline. Grabbing headline from what, Brian? If you have time later, I'd love to know the story behind you deciding to sell your company to them and then why you bought it back. Yeah, that would be cool. And I'd love to tell you about it. Nothing secret there. and I still work for them. So no bad blood. And, you know, Mark Ford, one of the co-founders of Agora, is still like, you know, a father figure to me. So no bad blood, and I still work for Agora, like I said. Milos is in the house. Nice to see you, Milos. Hope all is well. Ozma, how many times should post in blog to gain traffic, especially at the beginning? And if we want to write a background about the author, I have summaries his book. When we write it, I'm not sure the question, Asma. I mean, writing a blog, you should. Some people should tell you that you should write very frequently. I think that's a mistake. I think you should allow time for greatness. I think that make each blog post stand on its own from a standpoint that if someone were to come across it, they would want to read more. That would be probably the best way to go about it. Okay, I know this is not. Now I know for sure that this is not Wes, because I don't think Wes would call himself the mod. Cornell Johnson, not really. Perfect sense. I bought products just because of the premium. Okay. So Cornell, you're saying that it doesn't make sense. Tell me what part you don't understand, and I will explain it better. Makes sense. Cool. Hi, Rich. How can I quickly build credibility as a new editor and founder of my investing newsletter? Backstories, man. Backstories is the best. I troll sometimes, but I am Dan. Cool. Well, nice to meet you, Dan. Thanks for breaking down Agora model, Rich. Please keep going. I will die to know the rest of the details. Cool. I plan on doing that. All the sense in the world. Cool. Early 20s. Wow. I like Jordan Belfort. I worked for Jordan Belfort at his first stock brokerage job. It was a high school job for me. Tonality. Yeah. Jordan Belfort does have good tonality. I wish I was that switched on when I was young. Yeah, but then of course, you know, the entrepreneurial journey is like this, right? So, okay, so you guys get the fact that part of the beauty of the Agora model, right, is that you're not tied to a specific promotion for a product, right? Because if you wanted to think about the alternative for a second. If you were to have just a like fixed product, then anytime something was hot and new in your market, you would need to create a different product for that. And the time to create the product, time to create the promotion, all that kind of stuff, right? Whereas here, because it's a newsletter as the backbone, and a premium can be, you know, a premium can be a 10-page, 20-page PDF. The only thing that's required to capitalize on anything hot in the market, in the minds of your prospects, right? Because the best promotions are going to enter the conversation that's already happening in the prospect's head. Here, nothing has to change whatsoever to capitalize on whatever's hot in the moment. Okay, so that is one of the backbones as to why that works, right? And the next thing, though, is something that I wanted to create for Steal Our Winners. Was I wanted to create a product that not only capitalized on what I just explained to you, but also that the product itself would spit out as just a natural function of it being existing. It would spit out what could be premiums every month, right? And so that was kind of one of my, I wouldn't say requirements, but I would say something I wanted to strive for, right? Something so that we wouldn't have to go out and create premiums, but just the natural function of whatever it was we were creating would actually create the premiums just in and of themselves. And by that, I mean that what we're delivering as part of the product to our current subscribers or our current members could also be used as a premium to entice prospects to become clients, right? So that was kind of like, could we do that? And then could we also do it in a way where ultimately we could have a front end product, right? Which is what we're talking about here, that could support several gurus. So in other words, it had to be a little bit guru agnostic from a standpoint that it couldn't be just all about one guru. So, you know, I'll give you another example. Like I had this one continuity product years ago called Founders Club. Founders Club, when I started it, it was me and Todd Brown, because Todd Brown used to work with me. And what ultimately we were selling in that was a report from me every 2 months. And that would be a hard front end to incorporate any other gurus in it, because it's all stuff from me, right? And so therefore that would be a lot more challenging. All right, so I'm trying to create a front end product that benefits from the fact of like long-term know, like, and trust, right? That self-generates through what it delivers to customers, potentially numerous premiums that can be, can drive promotions, right? And also not overly attached to any given guru. And so based on that criteria, I developed Steal Our Winners. Now, there's a bunch of marketing reasons and business reasons why, and we'll get to that in a second, but just to check off certain boxes, Steal Our Winners does those things, right? So, for example, in this month's issue, I just it's hard for me to remember what's in each issue. But in each and every issue, we can pull certain segments and they could be premiums in and of themselves, right? That and the one that just comes to mind really quickly, this was from several months ago, but just to give an example, I think it was, a couple months ago, I did a segment with Russell Brunson, and he walked us through the single most successful funnel that ClickFunnels ever developed, that is more responsible for the growth of ClickFunnels than any other funnel, and that Russell spends over $1 million a month on, and it's cash flow positive. And that's the funnel that he went over in his Steal Our Winners segment. Now, that in and of itself could be a premium that we would then go out and sell Steal Our Winners with. It would be, the first half would be all about this special funnel that Russell has used to grow ClickFunnels more than any other funnel. It's the most successful funnel that he's ever built. He spends over $1 million a month, every month on it. And you get that free when you subscribe to Steal Our Winners, right? That's the whole idea. And so each month, we're delivering between 8 and 12 of those, and we could just pull one out, put it out, right, as the top of the promotion. Other parts of the promotion will reference back to it, but the second half is more or less the same, with a couple of points where we interject the premium in, but the second half is all about Steal Our Winners. So then to create new promotions, all we have to do is take the most sexy segments from each month and then use that as the premium. We could also combine a bunch, right? So I've done about 9 or 10 different Steal Our Winner segments on webinars. Everyone from Onyx Singal talking about a strategy that he used to cut his lead cost in half and boost his show up rate, to other well-known gurus, marketers, growth hackers sharing the specific strategies that they're currently using to make webinars work. And we can take those and now create the webinar performance multiplier or webinar profit multiplier pack. And it's these 9 gurus sharing their greatest strategies that they're currently using to to make their webinars as profitable as possible, right? That also can easily be generated through Steal Our Winners, because we're doing these segments each and every month, right? So therefore, that becomes another type of front-end promotion that we can use, and we already have all the material, right? And that's the important part. So I assume you guys are with me, that you're following all this. Okay. So a long time ago, I was doing a consult for Perry Marshall, who I desperately owe a phone call. Shit. Anyway, and I was really envious of his business. This was a long time ago. This was before, I think this was even before Facebook. And at that time, he was like considered the most knowledgeable guy as it related to Google AdWords. And so he had this 7-day Google AdWords course. And I was envious of his business because he had one big front door to his business. I had what felt like 7 side doors to my business. I had the Internet Business Manifesto, the Missing Chapter, the Final Chapter, Attention Age Doctrine 1, Attention Age Doctrine 2, the Maven Manifesto, the Uncertainty Syndrome, and then after that, I had my webinars, right? So I had all these entrance ways into my business. And all those entrance ways, each entrance way made my business more complicated, where he had one big front door to his business. I left that consult, like we were working on Perry's business, and fortunately I was able to help him, but I walked away from that very clear that that was a superior model to what I had if it could be developed in a way that would make sense. For lead gen, it's still not bad to have lots of side doors, but definitely when you get customers in, if you can run it in a way where it can be simplified, it's awesome, right? So that was another reason, right, why I'd love to have this business that has this quote unquote, right, flagship product that can support many things. Now, I don't know about you guys, right? But for me, the more that benefit I can get from something, the more then it's worth my time to invest in it, right? The more I can get, the more I'll invest. So, for example, these live streams, right? It's a game changer for us once we get the editors in place, the video editor and the process in place to take these live streams, cut them up, and now use them as content in all the different places online. It becomes a lot more valuable to strategic profits, me doing these live streams. And then for me, it becomes a lot more easy to appreciate the value of doing the live streams, which therefore then has me spend more time prepping for them, right? Right now, just to be totally honest with you guys, I spend very little time prepping for these live streams. And partly because I can't warrant dedicating the time. I'm already spending, let's say, a minimum of the 4 hours I'm doing it, an hour at least on just like getting, set up and everything. So at least 5 hours a week on it of a, less than 40-hour work week. So until there's more things stemming from it, I can't really warrant spending considerable time on it. However, as we get more out of it, I can invest more time into it, right? So it's the same with a front-end product, right? I want there to be just one front-end product for strategic profits. I want that front-end product to increasingly get better and better and better and better, because it's our product. It's our flagship product. All customers come through here. And therefore, we want to consistently improve that, right? So now kind of think about all the things that we've covered so far, even though it might not seem like we're covering a lot, right? We're talking about a front-end product ideally designed to acquire customers, right? To bond with those customers, to have it be able to capitalize on anything that's hot in the market, right? And without having to do any extra work, to be able to be repurposed in countless ways to also acquire customers that is not overly single guru dependent, and that has a good story with it. So I'm going to check back in with you guys. Let me know how this is all making sense. If you have any questions about stuff I've covered so far, let me know. And then we will progress even further. And I'll get to, I'm going to talk some more about what we're talking about here. And then I'm going to move into why I want to create these videos that I want to create today. So let's check back in with you guys. All right. When you say a premium, are you referring to a high perceived value or a high ticket premium offer? No, when I say premium, I'm talking about a bonus, right? I'm talking about something that stands generally like separate and distinct from the product, at least as far as the marketing goes, right? So, when you subscribe to Adweek, you get a mug that says world's greatest advertiser. That's the premium. When you subscribe to Sports Illustrated, you used to get like a free football phone. That's the premium, right? And in both of those cases, Sports Illustrated can't tell you what they're going to be covering other than the swimsuit issue, which is an annual issue, and whatever other annual issues they have. But, they can create a premium that people want, like the mug for Adweek, that actually will get more people to buy than just the product. And they also can't say what's going to be in Adweek the next week or the following week, just like Sports Illustrated can't tell you what's going to be the article or the cover story next month or the month thereafter. So when I say premium, don't think of it as premium versus low priced, right? Think of it as like a bonus, really. But a bonus that is really the focal point of a promotion. I came a little late. Is the flagship hair loss or Orga? The flagship product is, our flagship product right now is Steal Our Winners, right? As a front-end customer acquisition product, that is Steal Our Winners. We will soon be launching my coaching program. That will be my real Rich Schefren's flagship product, as opposed to Strategic Profits flagship product, will be Steal Our Winners and my coaching program. But Strategic Profits wants to have more than just my coaching program. The goal of our new growth and where we want to end up is with several gurus behind Steal Our Winners and be able to offer different coaching programs based on the needs of our clients. What is the most successful template when creating copy? Identifying consumers' pain is the most common approach, but have you found any others which served you surprisingly well? Well, Jeff, one thing is that I really, and some people kind of laugh at this, some people, like real copywriters, get it. I don't really consider myself a copywriter, right? Nor do I feel exceedingly good at writing front-end copy. I don't think I am. I think I'm too verbose, and I don't know how to really grab someone by the lapels and pull them in with a headline. I'm much better at educating my way to a sale. So I would just preface anything I say by that, just so that if I say anything that contradicts anything that you've heard from like a A-level copywriter, I would recognize that they probably know more than I do. But with that said, the most successful templates are, if there is certainly problem, agitate, solve, right? Is always a good approach. Generally, these type of promotions that I'm talking about are more that they're kind of like top of mind awareness, where maybe it hasn't been articulated yet in a way that is tied to a premium or to a report or to something, but when people hear it, they really want to have it. So that would be definitely more benefit oriented than and greed or fear based than it would be problem, agitate, solve. But it really kind of depends on what market you're first going after, and then whether we're talking about a front end or a back end. And if we're talking about a front end, is it something that is product based or is it subscription based? And if it's subscription based, then it should be premium based. And then what is that premium going to handle, right? Russ, hi, love your work. If you wanted to encourage folks around the world to be more regenerative and create a sustainable future, how would you start to market that idea? Well, if I wanted to encourage folks around the world to be more regenerative and create a sustainable future, how would you start to market that idea? Well, the first thing is I would be the change that I want to see in the world, right? So I have zero patience or willingness to even listen to anyone who flies on a private jet that talks about the environment, because what you consume in gas on a private jet is more than a lot of people will use in gas in a car in a lifetime. So nobody who flies on a private jet gets to lecture anyone on their footprint, on how they treat the environment, period, right? I can't stand hypocrisy. And so it's really nice and sweet that Leo DiCaprio flew to the United Nations to lecture the world on the climate, but he flew there private, and he had a bigger footprint than I will have most of my life in that one day. So he's being more of a villain and then lecturing all of us that we're villains. I don't dig it. And I actually have a real problem with it. Same with John Kerry, same with anyone who thinks they're for the environment and then actually has a bigger footprint than the average person. So be the change that you want to see in the world, live it, breathe it, be it, and then share that with the world. That's the first thing. And that means don't allow for hypocrisy. As soon as someone, look, if I'm broadcasting to you from a homeless shelter about how to grow your business, it makes no sense. And why would you want to take my advice? I feel it's the same with a lot of the people that spout like green stuff, but don't live in conjunction with a green world. I don't talk about that, nor do I live that. I mean, sure, we recycle and stuff like that, but, and we try and be as eco-friendly as we can be, but I'm not a zealot for it. So hopefully that makes sense for us. Do you make money by providing marketing advice only? What is it that makes you so valuable? Results at the end of the day, Dan. I mean, at the end of the day, right? I sell what's in my head, right? And then whether what's in my head is valuable or not is really dependent on what has been in my head in the past and what results that has spawned, right? So for most people, when they hear that I've coached, right, like Mike Filsaime or Ryan Dice or Russell Brunson, they start to pay attention. When they hear that I have a $1 billion testimonial from Agora, not $1 million testimonial, a $1 billion testimonial from Agora, people pay even more attention. So, when we were tracking it back in like sometime around 2015 or 16, I had already we can point to about $15 billion in additional sales that have come from my advice to clients over the years, right? So that's what makes my advice valuable. And I guess you could also say that other smart people who have been accepted at providing value have also attested to the fact that I do. So there's a little bit of that too, I would say, Dan. All right. What's the best length of a newsletter? Well, generally they end in 8-page increments. So 8 pages, 16 or 24, and that's a function of the printing. But other than that, there is no right amount or right length. Steeler Winners, massive value. Thank you for saying that, Mark. Rich, I was trying to find your hidden obstacle report online earlier, but with no success. Just wanted to find out how I can get access to it. Romeo, it is in the Facebook group. So if you join the Strategic Profits Facebook group, you got to go to Facebook, do a search for groups. There's a group called Strategic Profits. It's completely free to join, and you can get it in there, and it's free. For example, what do you do when I hire you? What can you do for me? Well, one, I'm not that easily hireable, because, so it's not, it's not like there's not a thing on my website that you can just buy some of my time. But if you were the right type of client for me, what I would do is quickly surmise where there are high leverage opportunities inside your business, and I would do my level best to get you a multiplied payoff of whatever you paid me, so that immediately you made more money than what I cost you, and then everything we did from that point forward would be gravy. And so generally, that's kind of the way I've always worked. That once I have a client, then I'm getting them a result as quickly as humanly possible, so that I win their trust, and then from there, then we can have a long and fruitful relationship. But Dan, like I used to do a program. Jay Abraham and I used to do this program together, and we'd get clients. They would give us a $50,000 retainer. That retainer would be against the results that we would provide. And the program was $1 million program, and it was 4% of the increase in sales until we got paid $1 million. So the proposition there was, we would grow your business, Jay and I, by 25 million, and you would pay us $1 million. And after 6 months of working together, if we weren't starting to get payments, then it was over. If we felt like you just haven't been acting on all the stuff that Jay and I had told you to do. And so the 50,000 was really just to buy enough of our time up front so that we could determine at the end if like you were the right client for us or not. And if you weren't, you got the benefit of 6 months worth of our consulting for 50 grand, which we would normally charge a lot more than that. But our goal was to grow your business by 25 million. And so generally the people that hire me, Dan, at the end of the day feel, and my track record backs it up, that $1 spent with me means many more dollars coming back to them in their business. And that doesn't happen by accident. I'm not a magician, right? It comes through marketing strategy and business optimization. Hope that helps. I see you're drinking Monster Energy drinks. I just bought a case of Kill Cliff yesterday, so you should check them out. Kill Cliff. I don't know Kill Cliff. Well, I quit Diet Coke, and so the only like sweet drink I have now is Monster, and I don't drink that many of them, but I will check out Kill Cliff. All right, cool. Yes, cool. All right. Where did I just lose that? All right. When you talk, I feel stupid. Don't. Hey, Rich, knowledge bombs as always. Thanks, April. Sharing in my group. Thanks, Troy. Appreciate you. Steve Lanning, customer acquisition theory as to many doors versus a single front door. Cool. Great training. I'm going to listen again to make sure I got it all. Cool. Thanks. Cool. I'm a full stack web developer. Well, good for you, man. So how often do you envision having to change the flagship product to be relevant? As I typed, I realized that Dan Kennedy has essentially used the same offer since the 1990s. Yeah, Dan's in a different world, but I would imagine that the product could be relevant, Mark, for a very long time. But if you want to maximize the sales, then premiums have to be changed all the time. or at least as frequently enough so that nothing gets stale, right? I need a copywriter. Well, there's plenty out there to find, and there's generally quite a few who tune into this. So maybe they will find you, Dan. How long should a live broadcast be? I don't know, Michael. Probably less than 2 hours, but it all depends, right? Because at the end of the day, if you're going to do a live stream once a week, twice a week, once a month, whatever, ideally, you want to leave people wanting more, right? You want people to not feel like they got enough of you, but that they actually want more. For me, I'm doing 4 hours a week, not because I think people want 40 hours a week of me, because I don't think they do, but more so because as this evolves for us, I see this really becoming my primary channel for developing content. And so with that, and I started it during COVID at the beginning of the lockdown when I was bored and I didn't have anyone to talk to. So, and we've just continued since. I know how to build stuff. I'm stupid for this at the moment. Well, marketing is a whole nother skill, Dan. And I can't, I don't even know how to send an email through our CRM system, right? We've had Infusionsoft as our CRM system since 2005, so 16 years ago. And I still don't know how to send an email on it. So we each have our areas of expertise. And I've spent all my time learning and doing marketing, learning how to grow businesses and doing that, where you spent your time learning how to code, how to develop, how to tie systems together. These are all things I don't know. And I'm sure you could do a better job of marketing right now than I could do a job of coding, because at least you might be somewhat familiar. I have zero idea other than learning basic programming when I had my VIC-20, which was a computer that had only 20K of memory. And you used to have to save stuff that if you were saving stuff on a cassette tape. What is the cost for Steal Our Winners? I want in with your programs. Steal Our Winners is $49 a month, and you should be able to come across a $1 trial somewhere, or if you want, you can, there's also the docu-series. There's the docu-series promotion that we have, which offers you videos, audios, transcripts of the whole live stream, the 24-hour live stream I did with all of those people. And also included is your first month of Steal Our Winners. So it just, whichever path you want to go down right now. Jeff Aaron, check out Evaldo Albuquerque's book, The 16-Word Sales Letter. Yes. Yeah. I worked closely with Evaldo at Agora, and that is an extremely good book on copywriting for sure. Dan, check out that book. And if you got the most recent version, then it should thank me at the beginning of that book as opposed to Russell Brunson. Hold on. Yeah, Evaldo used to work on the same team that I was at Agora. We all left. Now, actually, we all left Agora Financial. Evaldo now works with Legacy down here in Delray, which is also part of Agora. And when he first published the book, which I have a couple copies here, when he first published the book, he thanked Russell Brunson for the idea of the one belief. And I was like, dude, you know where he got that idea from? He got it from me. And he's like, well, unless I hear it from Russell, I really can't change it. So I called Russell, and Russell said that. So Evaldo was supposed to change the book. I hope he did. I know that the ones that were printed weren't changed because he's not going to destroy those. But hopefully, at least if you're getting it in a PDF format, it has been. So what's the difference between the very valuable free giveaway content to get them to subscribe and the premium? Isn't your reports very valuable premiums and proven to work? I don't get it. Okay, good question, Emmy. So I used to write free reports. Those are more lead magnets, right? And they are different because, my free reports were not about anything that like the hot, sexy thing at the moment that people could immediately appreciate, right? The Internet Business Manifesto is like, you have no idea what it is, right? Whereas like a premium on where to find the cheapest, most highly targeted traffic right now would be a premium that would be more a premium that would be attached to a promotion, versus the reports I wrote were much more lead magnets that were designed to shift beliefs for more expensive products behind it, right? They're two totally different approaches, right? We used to have, at Strategic Profits, we used to have more of a descension funnel, right? Where we'd come out to market with something more expensive and then try to sell that, and then, you know, have lower priced offers behind it, right? Here, this is more of an ascension model where Steal Our Winners is less expensive. We market that because we can grow that much bigger, right? And then over time have people ascend. So very, very different, right? Lead magnet versus premium. They're two totally different things. A lead magnet is something designed to get people to opt in. Now, what you do inside that lead magnet is important, right? And it should be based on whatever the next step is in your campaigns and your marketing for that new subscriber, right? That just opted in. Premium is about something sexy and desirable that people want enough that they're willing to subscribe to the product just to get that premium. So I hope that makes sense, Emmy. But great question. Amen, Rich. Well, thank you. Alcor, anyone? Hey, Rich, if you were in the position of John Kerry, what would you do different in that situation? Well, for one, smaller house, not live on Martha's Vineyard. Number two, not fly privately and sell all the private planes that he owns, that Heinz owns. Then I'd look at Heinz, and what is Heinz doing for the environment? Those would be some of the first things I would do. Your Russ Manning answer flows into the marketing world as well. I have grown tired of people who just bought a program on how to market to marketers to help marketers market, and to get clients who are marketers look to marketers. Right. Yeah. It's coaches who coach coaches, coaching coaches, coach coaches. Right. Yeah. I totally get it. Like, yeah. God. I always lose these. It's so much easier to keep track of all of the comments in Ecamm. Unfortunately, Ecamm doesn't allow me to broadcast in more than one place. You're welcome, Romeo. LOL says Teresa. And hello, Teresa. I don't think I said hello to you before. Thanks. You're welcome. Peter shared. Good day from Registrations R Us, License and Registry Services, Edmonton. Edmonton. No, Edmonton. Pretty well. I followed you for more than 10 years. I can testify that each time I hear you, I get enormous value. Well, thank you, Michael. J. Abraham rocks. And I found you through being in his Beyond Exponential programs. You guys are epic. Thanks for generously sharing all your actionable wisdom. Well, you're very welcome, Valerie. And actually, I'll be hanging with Jay next week on Friday and Saturday. Not this weekend coming up, but the following weekend. And I'll probably, I don't see why I can't. Like, we'll probably do a quick Facebook Live, like off of my phone or something when we're together. So probably on Saturday. Why do business owners not act on advice? Depends. Depends on whose advice it is, right? I find the more you charge, the higher percent of people that you end up talking to take your advice. LOL. Oops. Must have had a copy in the notepad. And how many businesses you and Jay were able to achieve the $25 million growth? I'd say about half. I'd say about a third we lost right after the first 6 months. Like, we would kick them out because it wasn't fruitful for us. Yeah, I'd say about half. And then I did a bunch more on my own, and Jay did a bunch more on his own. And I think we both had better track records there because we had learned like what was the best criteria up front. Are you suggesting one front-end product to optimize for customer acquisition, but have multiple back-end offers? Am I suggesting that, Jason? I don't know that I'm suggesting that. I'm saying that's what I'm doing. And like, think about what a flagship product is. A flagship product at the end of the day is when we say flagship, right? Like, I don't know what the dictionary definition is, but my definition would be like, it's like what you're proud of. It's like the centerpiece, right, of the business. Flagships. Let's see what does Google say flagship means? The finest, largest, or most important one of a group of things. Yeah. So that makes sense. So it becomes our most important product, right? And so for me, I'd rather Steal Our Winners, I think, is the best low price continuity product out there, bar none. But having said that, it is so far away from where I want it to be. I think there are so many more component pieces that we can build into it to make it better that only makes sense to do if it's continuing to be like the main product that all our customers go through, right? So it's this like give and take, right? Just like showing up on these live streams, it's worthy of me preparing more and more, the more things that we can do with the live streams. And the more things that we're doing with the live streams then warrant me spending more time preparing before I get on the live stream. Same thing with the product, right? Like the more that we know that this is the thing, right, that is going to spawn off lots of promotions and also be the thing that all customers go through, we can then warrant the time, right, to hire the best designer on Thinkific to design our Thinkific platform, which we just started talking to, right? Shout out to Rob Gavin, who is Michelle Gavin's brother. Michelle Gavin is married to Michael Filsain. And so shockingly, I was on the call with Rob Gavin and he was like, by any chance, like, do you know Mike? And I'm like, yes, I coached him 15 years ago. Yes, but Jason, that's exactly what I'm doing, right? And part of the reason for that, Jason, is that while consciously I was very much aware of what I was doing, I feel as if I let certain opportunities slip by because we developed, like when I developed our business coaching program back first in 2004, and then when I released it back into the market in 2006, there were no other business coaching programs out there online. And we built a system to drip the content because there were no systems that drip content back then, right? So we were so far ahead. And staying far ahead, though, was never a focal point of mine because I moved on to other things. But I don't want to do that again. Like, I want Steal Our Winners to increasingly get better and better and better. And in order for that to happen, right, it has to have a vital place in our business to warrant that. So that's the model that I want to follow, Jason. But part of the reason I'm able to do that, or I believe I'll be able to do that, is one, that Steal Our Winners is not like, it's easy for Steal Our Winners to serve me, right? Because I'm in all of the segments, but I'm not the focal point of any of the segments. The contributor is. But because Steal Our Winners can generate new promotions all the time based on what we're delivering, that then means that even though we have one front-end product, we could literally have 50 different promotions out there all selling the same product. So while it's one front-end product, it could be 50 different front-end promotions. And then therefore, if you kind of think about it that way, maybe it's easier. If you have 50 promotions, like successful promotions, all like pointing to one product, how good do you want that one product to be? Thank you for sharing, Peter, and I appreciate you. Also, when you say front end, are you suggesting keep with one strategy for selling the front end, or can you have multiple modalities of selling the one front end offer, such as a challenge, webinar, et cetera, but all the same front ends being sold just in different ways? Exactly right, Jason. So we, like right now, I'm talking to Felicia Pagesh to potentially do challenges for us consistently outside and inside the market, right? I'm for clients and outside for prospects, right? And people would then could decide they could buy the challenge for $49, or they could just sign up for Steal Our Winners, get all of Steal Our Winners plus the challenge free, right? So same price, right? So yes, many different modalities, many different premiums, many different ways of selling, but ultimately the same thing. Like we have right now we have the docu-series. That's one approach, right? We have, right now we're doing the docu-series plus co-reg behind it to subsidize our advertising. We're trying lots of different things, but yes, many different ways of selling the same front end is ideal. Great questions, Jason. I don't know you, but would like to. So send me a message and whatever. Yeah, send me a message, Jason. I'd like to get to know you. How diversified is Strategic Profits? Not very. You got to remember, I reduced the business down to like a skeleton when I had my midlife crisis, and then just worked with some private clients from like 2012 to 2017. I did a few things, but not very much. Going to keep I guess it's going to keep a close eye on you. You mean something more in my life. Okay, cool. Well, I hope so. I've made a big difference in a lot of people's lives. I was very reflective of that when I turned 50 last week, because I got some really great, it's nice to have a party. It's nice to see friends. And that was great. And that was wonderful. But I'd say that what meant the most to me were, well, a card I got from one of my daughters who wrote a lot to me, and that meant a lot. And then a bunch of notes and emails I got from clients just thanking me and talking about how different they felt their life would be if they had never come into contact with me. And, as hitting a milestone of 50, right? And reflecting on like, am I living the right way? Am I making a difference? Am I having the impact I want? Has my life mattered? I think if other people's lives are better because you existed, then there was a good reason for you existing. So those were the things that meant the most to me on my 50th birthday. And if I have the ability, or if I can make that difference in other people's lives, then it is something that makes me very happy, and also really is, in my eyes, the purpose of my existence. What is the preferred method for staffing? I'm not sure I understand the question, Cornell. Are you asking me whether in-house or virtual? Are you like, I'm not really sure what you're asking me there. So ask me in a different way, Cornell. Hey, Rich, finally grabbing in alive again. Oh, cool. Good to see you, Denise. Matt, I had a Commodore 64 run the first MIDI software. Wow. I didn't even know that a Commodore 64 could be jacked up that much. Impressive, Matt. You must know shit that I will never know. Can I work for you and shadow you for free? Doubtful, Michael, but hit me up, send me a message in LinkedIn, tell me what you're thinking. But I'll tell you up front, it's probably doubtful. So, but hit me up and tell me what you were thinking. Just send me a message in LinkedIn. Premiums will be more content when the lead magnet will be more marketing oriented. Yeah. So premiums are much more content driven. Lead magnets when done correctly, are more marketing driven, for sure. Oh, Jesus. I lose these all the time. Okay. Heavyweight like you should have 1 million sub. What's going on with the world? Well, I've had tons of people subscribe. We're talking about, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Oh, you're talking about on YouTube. Yeah. Well, YouTube has always been an afterthought for me. In fact, only recently, because of Vincenzo and Bren, we're now ranking videos in YouTube, which is really cool. We're getting traffic that we never had before. That's awesome. And so when I'm in San Diego and then LA next week, or this week, I leave tomorrow, my goal is to, in an ideal world, I'm shooting 2 collaborative videos while I'm out there. One with Wes Watson, who's a close friend of mine, and then the other, Michael Francisi, who is a former member of the mob, the only one who was able to retire without ratting, and who also made the most money for the mob, $8 million a week, scamming gasoline tax in the US. And he's got a huge following. Wes has a huge following. Like I said, Wes is a close friend of mine. And my goal is, if I can, while I'm out there, to shoot those 2 collaboration videos so that we can juice up my channel quite a bit. Really awesome live stream as always, Rich. Thank you. You're welcome, Dave. One of my mentors said that you basically coined the term lead magnet, which I already knew. I'm not sure if you coined the terminology, but the process I think you mentioned in the past. Yeah, I don't think I coined the term, but definitely was one of the, I wouldn't even say I was the inventor by any stretch, but definitely someone who really popularized the idea of like creating something of really high value and giving it away free, right? I got the digital version of Ivaldo's 16-word thing by October last year, and he still thanks Russell, not you. All right, I got to screenshot that. Hold on, and then I'm going to text that to Ivaldo and be like, WTF. That's what I got to do. WTF, Ivaldo. I'm just making a note. Got to make sure that happens. All right. Can you speak of the descension model and how it sells premium products? We always hear about ascension, but very few speak of descension. Thank you for all you teach. Yeah, sure. And once again, I would assume that I did not invent the descension model by any stretch, but I would also assume that most people who talk about it nowadays did actually learn it from me. I don't know. We started it because I'm not a copywriter and I know how to sell my way through education. Now, that was not even something that was possible, Mia, before the internet, right? You wouldn't generally start trying to sell a high-end product to people that a high-priced product to people you don't know, and then work your way down, right? On the internet, you can get away with that because of you can actually be talking to people that are in the market who are searching or something of that, right? So there's that element to it. We could advertise my webinar, right? So my automated webinar, we get advertised back in 2008, and we weren't advertising it as automated, right? We were just advertising a webinar. Most people assumed it was live, and it certainly appeared live. And we could get registrations for relatively cheap, much cheaper than you could today. And we were selling, at that time, like, let's say a $4,000 product. So from there, it would subsidize the cost of the leads, right? Like if we sold 1 out of 100, we sold more than 1 out of 100, but if we sold 1 out of 100, that would mean that every opt-in, right, was worth $40, right? If we had a 1% conversion of a $4,000 product, that would mean 100 people opting in would equal 4,000. That would mean that every opt-in was worth $40, right? If we could get an opt-in for $1, that means we're making $39 on every opt-in if we're selling at 1%. If we're selling at 2%, then every opt-in is worth $80. And if we're selling at 3%, every opt-in is worth $120, right? So based on that, right, we would be using the webinar, selling this higher price product at that time, to subsidize the cost of all the leads, right? Knowing that, at best, maybe we're going to sell 5% of the people the $4,000 product. That leaves 95% who haven't bought anything from us yet, but we've already made money. And so all those other leads now are free. And so if we can sell that 95% anything, that's all profit too. And so ultimately we had like a stripped down version of the coaching program that was like $1,000. And we had then Founders Club, which was $50 a month. And we would progressively take people down those paths, right? But if you didn't watch the webinar that was selling the coaching program, we wouldn't then just immediately drop price, because if you never attended the webinar, you couldn't reject it. It's not a price thing. So then like we would have other versions to try and sell you that program first, right? But Mia, maybe I'm not answering your question. So if you want to ask me more specific about descension versus ascension, by all means, I'll do my best to answer it. Wow, I'm not even going to record any videos today because we're already at close to 4 o'clock. Wow. All right, I'm going to tell you the videos I wanted to record, and then I'm going to have to record those on my own, which kind of sucks. But I did the descension model primarily because I didn't have copywriting chops strong enough to write a front-end product promo that would work. And it's very hard to get a low-price product to perform at a level where you're not going incredibly negative right out of the gate, meaning that it's going to cost more to get that customer than that customer is spending with you. Whereas when you're selling a high-priced product first, it's a lot easier to make the numbers work as far as advertising goes. And that's primarily the single biggest reason why many people are better served when they're first starting out as a coach, consultant, whatever, of having a descension model as opposed to an ascension model. Slightly off topic. I'm curious, how does Agora pay media buyers to grow a flagship product like this? Not very well, Nicholas. And it's been a thing I've argued quite a bit about over the years with Agora. Agora was started when the internet didn't even exist. So the only high paid people in Agora were the publishers and the copywriters, because the copy was writing the sales letter and all that kind of stuff, right? The marketing at that time was just renting lists. So the media buying was renting lists, right? Nowadays, most of the most successful divisions actually outsource the media buying to media buying agencies, where they will come in at an agreed cost per sale. And then the agency will give their media buyers a cost to come in under. And then based on that cost that they're coming in under, split the difference, right? So I could go to, let's say, James Von Elswick, right, with native advertising, and say, for every customer you get of this promotion, we're going to give you $250. And it's selling a $49 product. And then James is going to go out, get really good media buyers, or he's doing it himself, where he might say, if I told him $250, he's telling them $200, and I will split any money with you for every sale that comes in under $200, right? And so James is making the $200 to $250, right? That whole $50 going to him, and the rest of the spread is going to their buyers. And that's how it works. And Agora knows that they're just paying out $250, right? And then Agora takes care of the copywriter. I would say that until or if ever Agora starts to pay media buyers in a corresponding way with the way they pay their copywriters, going external will always be better than internal, just because the media buyers can make so much more money once they get the skill going someplace else. I attended a Abraham live event today, and another guy as the host, as the Law of Business Mastermind. Huh, cool. I don't know who it was with, but that sounds cool, John. Rich, I would like to share with us your tips on speed reading. Sure, another time. I'm not sure what question you're asking, Amit. Is Agora offering back-end offers to some that are front-end offers for others? I'm guessing so. My son purchased Angels and Entrepreneurs, is now being offered Rich Dad, Poor Dad letter, which I purchased as a front-end. That's interesting. I'm not sure why that sounds like Money Maps is probably not got enough stuff to promote right now. So they pulled Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which is from a different division of Agora. It's Paradigm. I was in the Paradigm group with Robert Kiyosaki and Evaldo and Grant Cardone. But what are they? I'm curious. What's the price of the Rich Dad, Poor Dad letter? Is it still like a newsletter? And if it is, that might be also a way of transitioning people out. Because I know Neil Patel did not want to stay actively involved in that product. Don't know where he stands with that now. Although I did speak to Neil the other day. Oh, cool. Just got your John Lee Dumas book. Rich, new member of Steal Our Winners. When you're creating a new product and all its elements, what is your normal development strategy process? Ralph, you're going to have to ask me that another day. Sorry. Just because that's a long, that would be a long answer to that question. Rich, back to climate change. Bill Gates still flies, but has cut back. He also bought a nuclear company versus climate change and written a book about global warming. Does that count versus hypocrisy? No, it only counts as hypocrisy, Kurt, if he's lecturing me. Right? If my footprint is less than his footprint, he doesn't get to have a bigger footprint because he's more wealthy. And he does, as long as he's not lecturing me, who has a smaller footprint, on anything. Right? That's the way I see it. Diversify strategic profits with real estate, ice cream flavors, and merch. Well, we want to come up with a name for people in Steal Our Winners, but haven't come up with that yet. You've been a great help to me in your first half century. You'll enjoy your 60th as well. I hope so. Thanks for clarifying. I appreciate the amount of time you take to explain the answers. That helps to clarify why you would want one front-end offer with multiple modalities. I can see why this strategy just makes more sense, especially when it comes to optimizing the front-end offer. I'd be honored to get to know you better. I'll send you a message. Cool. Yeah, definitely do. Yeah, I mean, look, what a lot of people don't realize is that at the end of the day, you get one chance to make a first impression. So that's where, like, I've always talked about, like, when someone asked me earlier about how often to blog post, it's like common wisdom is post all the time. Mine has always been make time for greatness. Make it so that when someone stumbles across something of yours, they feel like this is really good. I want to know more from this person, right? When I read a book that I like, I will then go out and buy every book that author has written. I have started reading numerous books where I'm like, never will I read this book nor any other book this person has written, right? So I go quickly one way or the other. You want your lead magnets and your front-end products to be stuff that has people want to lean in for more. The easiest way to do that is to have that front-end product be the primary flagship product for the front end of your business for longer periods of time. That's only possible if there's a way to constantly create new promotions for that same front-end product. That's only possible if it is a continuity based where you are changing the premium on a pretty consistent basis. So with that said, what I was going to do today was I was going to shoot a video that really was all about the value of Steal Our Winners, right? Because my concern is that when someone first comes into Steal Our Winners, they just see a bunch of interviews, right? Like that's one way of looking at it, that there's 8 interviews there or 12 interviews. And what is this, right? So what I wanted to talk about, and so you'll see it, I guess, because I'll probably record it tonight because I do want to record some stuff for this, is a video that talks about where the biggest breakthroughs happen, right? Like, so I've been working with Agora for 16 years, right? We've grown from, let's say, 100 million to 2 billion, just to use easy numbers, right? So 1.9 billion growth in 16 years. But we didn't grow 100 million a year. We grew close to $1 billion in 1 year. And that was on the back of VSLs, right? When the rest of the world had not known about VSLs. Nowadays, if you use a VSL, it could be about the same as a sales letter. Back then, 300 to 400% increase worldwide on every sales letter. Okay. Automated webinars. When we invented automated webinars, same thing happened. Automated webinars are great today, but they were 10 times better back in 2008 when I first invented them, right? So like strategic profits never grew more than when we first released the automated webinars. Agora grew over $1 billion in just 1 year when we introduced VSLs that I saw John Benson do and saw it very early on and brought it over to Agora. Now, why would I tell those stories? Well, I would tell those stories for 2 reasons. One, it gives some of my track record, right? Where I invented the automated webinar, I helped Agora grow by $1 billion, et cetera, right? But I'm also talking about that businesses grow most when they leverage a marketing tactic that the rest of the world does not know about. Where do you find those? You find those in Steal Our Winners. So the whole first video is all going to be about that, telling those 2 stories and then translate into that's what Steal Our Winners is all about. The second video that I was planning on doing today was a video about everything that is involved with an issue of Steal Our Winners, right? There's a reason why we have 100 contributors, right? This is not a one guru newsletter. It's impossible to have it that way. The reason we have 100 contributors today, and we'll probably have even more by the end of next year, is that we never know where a winning strategy is going to come from. And you can't rely on just 5 people for lots of winning strategies, because winning strategies are being developed all the time. And so for Steal Our Winners to provide our subscribers with strategies and tactics that are currently crushing it, it requires me to get on the phone and talk to tons of people, right? To vet out which ones are worthy of bringing back and sharing with you guys, and to constantly be expanding the network and talking to more people. And so the second video was going to be all about all the things that happen behind the scenes to deliver to you this thing that you get each month, right? And so taking a step back from everything that we talked about for a second, not necessarily diving into these videos, but appreciate, right? Like what I said about the frame at the very beginning of this whole conversation where I was talking about the Internet Business Manifesto and what would it take, what backstory would it take for you to steal that from a doctor's office? Part of it, that backstory, right, is there's this coach who's coached all these people. So same thing here now, right? I want to frame what Steal Our Winners is to new subscribers when they first join in by recognizing that this is where they're going to find their breakthrough strategy. This is where they are going to hear about marketing tactics and strategies that a year or 2 years before it's ever in a course, they're going to come across it here. And it's going to be a lot more powerful because it's not in that course or in that thing, right? This is the closest that you get to being in the green room, which is generally where like speakers who are at a seminar are hanging out before they go on stage, where we share what's currently working, right? And those strategies that we share in the green room probably won't make it into a course for a year or 2 years down the road because we're just playing with them now, but we're sharing it with other gurus, right? And other speakers. That's what Steal Our Winners is. But you're not going to think that or feel that or know that unless that's told to you. And so it's my responsibility as the product owner, right, to set that frame for you. And it's a lot more effective to set that frame up front than to set behind, right? So part of the goal for me today, which I've totally screwed the pooch on, it was to record those videos. So I'll have to do that tonight. But hopefully you guys understand the point, right? The point is that if you can develop a product that your core product for acquiring customers, if it can be something that is constantly being sold, can be sold by premium, right? Then you never have to worry about that product being outdated, right? Or more importantly, even the promotions for it being outdated, because you can constantly create new promotions. If you can constantly create new promotions for it, right? Then you want to make the product that they receive better and better and better, right? Because that's going to be your new customer's first impression of your business. And it gets easier and easier the longer you've been doing that product. So hopefully today, while I might not have just come to you with a recipe for flagship products, that you're beginning, or at least have gotten additional perspective about developing a product, or having a product if you have it, or altering the current product you have to make it more something that is continuity based, which is wonderful, right? I like to start each month knowing I've already made enough in that month to pay my staff, to pay everything else without necessarily any sales being made. And that can be promoted in many different ways, that is constantly generating the way that it can be promoted, that can be bundled and packaged in many different things, and ultimately supports whatever behind it you want to sell as backend. Okay, yeah, you sent me that. Let's just see. All right. I'm going to try and get through all the comments just real quick. Rich, on the Groovathon, you and Mike talked about a Groove version of Steal Our Winners. Do I talk with Mike or you about gaining access to that? Don't talk to anyone, although that's all in Groove's hands at this point. I think there is already a Groove Steal Our Winners that we've set up. There's already all the videos for it, and everything's been created. We're just waiting on their new funnel to start selling it. Staffing a mid-sized digital marketing agency, outsourcing. Well, if you have a digital marketing agency, I'd be interested in talking to you about it if you've been around for a while. Yeah, Cornell, you're gonna have to revisit that question, I guess. Interesting, Chris. Not sure. I got to think about that, Dr. Vogelman. Hi, I've been watching some MF YouTube vids. Oh, so is that Mark Ford MF? I don't know. San Diego sounds like a nice place. Yeah, especially since you live there. Hit value Taman up. Yeah. I don't know him, and I don't know anyone that knows him. But if I did, I would. That's Michael X. Oh, Michael Francisi. Right. Okay. ClickFunnels or Groove? Your 720 looks like 4K. Ah, that's good to know. It's the camera. It's an old Canon. I like the Andre Chaperon approach. It looks like it's time for me to go. What's this? No, we're gonna go do this thing now, right?
It's okay.
No, it's okay. Let me finish. Let's go in 5 minutes, okay? Anyway, yes, and I like the way Andre Chaperon does it. It all depends on scale, right? All right. Too many questions today, guys. I'm not even going to be able to get it all done. All right. So I apologize for that. I really don't like not at least giving everyone their chance here. Oh, that would be cool. Yeah. All right. Yeah, they don't measure it well. But what's sad to say is that there is no correlation between renewals of subscriptions and the performance that the gurus make as far as recommendations, as far as investment performance, right? Because in the investment in the financial field, right, the newsletters are making financial investment recommendations. And along those lines, they are, you would think, right, that the better that the newsletter performed, like the recommendations, the higher the renewal rate would be. But it isn't. And it's something I've shared in numerous live streams before, something Gary Halbert shared with me. They buy because of what you promise them. They stick around because they like you. And there tends to be a lot of truth in that. All right. Any advice to your 25-year-old self? Stay with your journal. Nothing that I would radically alter. Yeah. Dan, if you ask me that at a different time, I will answer that question. I would say that Groove is better than ClickFunnels, but I'm not in the trenches. So I'd also, I'm talking about it from a higher level, but I don't know that I'm the best person to ask that. So I am going to try right now, just for, I guess, shits and giggles, to record that first video for Steal Our Winners. It's probably not going to go well. I'm probably going to eject halfway through and not even try and re-record because I can record it later tonight. But I figure I might as well try. So I'm going to record that. I'm going to thank you guys for being here, for asking questions, for participating, for sharing, and doing all those things today. Really appreciate it. Appreciate you. I know that you could spend your time doing a countless number of things, and you chose to be here. You chose to participate. And for that, I truly appreciate you. And I'm going to go into this video right now. And I'll show you just real quick. Yeah, I'm not even going to show you that. I'll just dive into it, try and record this thing. And if I nail it, great. Then I'll have checked one box. And if not, then it'll just be a late night. So with that said, these are always, it's always so difficult, right? How do you start these things? Okay. Hi, Rich Schefren here, and let me be the very first person to congratulate you on becoming a subscriber of Steal Our Winners. Now, today in this video, our first video where we really get a chance to know one another, I want to tell you two stories from my past and then tie that back into Steal Our Winners. Now, these two stories are about insane growth in profits, in list size, and in sales for two very different companies, but both around the same time. So the first company I want to tell you about is Agora Publishing. Now, Agora Publishing is an information publisher that sells primarily through direct response. Now, I've been working with Agora Publishing as an outside consultant to them for about 16 years. So it's 2021 right now. So at least since 2005, it might have even been 2004. Back then, Agora was about a $100 million business. Today, it's about a $2 billion business. And in fact, I have a testimonial from Bill Bonner that is a $1 billion testimonial, and I'll place it right here so you can take a look at it. So right there should be a testimonial from Bill Bonner. Anyway, you would think that if we went from 100 million to 2 billion, you would think that we probably added like 100 million a year until we got there, but you'd be wrong. In fact, we grew over $1 billion in just 1 year. And I want to tell you the story about how that happened. You see, I had seen what is now known as a video sales letter, a VSL, back in, I don't even remember, back 2008, 9, 10, somewhere around that time. And as soon as I saw it, I brought it to Agora and I said, you guys got to try this. It was about a week after John Benson had invented it. Well, Agora tested it and tried it, and immediately they saw that conversion rates jumped about 300 to 400%. And it didn't just jump in one place at one time, 300 to 400%. It jumped 300 to 400% worldwide. So immediately, every offer they were making was selling 300 to 400% more people who saw it, right? And because of that, we grew by $1 billion that year. Now, if we fast forward to today, we still use VSLs at Agora. However, when we split test VSLs versus regular sales letters, we see pretty much sometimes VSLs win, sometimes sales letters win. Now, what should the takeaway be of that? Well, the takeaway for me is that if you were around to leverage VSLs when the rest of the world didn't know about them, when they were something new, then you saw your business grow 300 to 400%. But if you didn't know about it until later on, until the performance degraded to what is about any sales letter, now if you use a VSL, you don't get that benefit. That opportunity is gone. The opportunity to leverage that tactic that would multiply the growth of your business. But like I said, that's just one of two stories. So back in 2008, I developed the automated webinar and wrote a report about it called Evergreen Event Driven Marketing, and created software in our company where we were doing automated webinars where the rest of the world were just not doing that. They were just doing webinars. I gave the software and the report to Mike Filsaime, to Russell Brunson. I believe Frank Kern also got the report. And we all were doing webinars at that time, these automated webinars, when the rest of the world was doing regular webinars. We all crushed it. And even though webinars today are still one of the preferred channels in selling higher priced products, I can promise you that the registration rate, the show up rate, and the conversion rate back in 2008 compared to where they are today is like a night and day difference, which means that the people that jumped on webinars really early saw their businesses explode, whereas those that jump on webinars today will not see the same level of growth and performance. And why is that? Well, in both of these cases, what they illustrate, and I hope that you get it, is that marketing tactics and strategies degrade over time. The effectiveness that they have diminishes over time. That's why I like to say that marketing is more like milk than wine. It doesn't get better over time. It gets worse over time, which now brings me back to why we created Steal Our Winners. You see, Steal Our Winners is all about providing you with the latest, best marketing strategies, marketing tactics, and growth hacks that are currently crushing it out there in the world, but yet the rest of the world doesn't know about it yet. Our goal at Steal Our Winners is to present you each and every month from anywhere from 8 to 12 segments, introducing you to strategies, tactics, and growth hacks that are currently crushing it. In other words, they have the potential to multiply the size, profits of your business very quickly, while the rest of the world hasn't heard about it yet, where it will still be a year or two until these tactics ever find their way into a course. So what we've done is combed the internet, created a contributor list that is over 100 contributors at this point, all on the lookout for a strategy, tactic, or growth hack that is currently working, that is being used in a business right now, that is currently crushing it and growing at a rate that others are not. We take those and we serve them to you on a silver platter by not only tracking them down, vetting those people and interviewing them, but then also taking those interviews and turning them into a one-page strategy document for you to decide whether this aligns with the vision and strategy that you're following in your business, or if it doesn't. If it doesn't, then don't worry about that segment. But if it does, then look at the one-page summary. Make sure it applies. If it does, watch the video at high speed. Download the transcript. Review the transcript. Take notes on it. And you will now be in the driver's position in your business. You'll have the very best tactics and strategies with the most likelihood to really fuel your growth. And that's what Steal Our Winners is all about. Like I said, I want to congratulate you and welcome you to as a subscriber to Steal Our Winners. I'm actually recording this live right now during a live stream because I wanted to show the people on my live stream about a welcome message and also a flagship product. Our goal with Steal Our Winners is to create this product that is so insanely valuable to you that it's something that you look forward to receiving each and every month, and that when you think of me or you think of Strategic Profits, you think about our role in the growth of your profits in your business. So I'll see you in future videos because I've got more to tell you. Until then, to higher profits and beyond, this is Rich Schefren, over and out. All right, not bad, not great, but good enough. So anyway, hope that that was useful. I hope that you at least got perspective on it. And with that, I will, it'll be about a week and I'll be talking to you from California. So looking forward to that. And until then, to higher profits and beyond, Rich Schefren, over and out.